Hi, 7th graders, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on constant of proportionality. So our objective for today is I'll be able to find the constant of proportionality from a word problem, table, and a graph. All right, so first things first, let's define constant of proportionality. So the constant of proportionality is how much a rate changes, how much the rate changes, aka the unit rate. So the constant of proportionality is the same thing as a unit rate. We've been finding unit rates since in 6th grade, and so far this last couple weeks we've been working really hard on finding the unit rate. Constant of proportionality is the same thing. So we're going to look at examples because we are going to figure out examples in a graph, in a table, and in word problems. Okay? So in a word problem, so we've been working on this a lot. So let's be diligent and show me how we can do this. This one should be a review for sure. So if Emily can read 7,680 words in 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, what's her constant of proportionality? Or what's her unit rate? How many can she read in 1 unit or in 1 minute? So let's underline or circle. You can do it in different colors. You can circle one, underline the other. Let's circle our units. So 7,680 words. We want to figure out in 1 unit. Okay, so 1 unit, we don't know the words. That's what we're trying to figure it out. What's her constant proportionality? How many words can she read in 1 minute? Okay, so it gives us 1 hour, but we want to use the 60 minutes because we want to know the unit rate. So when we set up a proportion, we're going to go 7,680 words. Now make sure you label, please make sure you label. This is going to help you a ton. So 7,680 words in 60 minutes is equal to, we're trying to find the unit rate. So we want to know how many words. So how many words can we read, or can Emily read in 1 minute? Okay, so now this should look awfully familiar. We're finding the unit rate here. So how many words? So we need to cross multiply. So 7,680 times 1, 680 times 1 equals, and then we got to do the other side, 60 times x. So 60x. Let's clean this up a little bit. 7,680. There we go. 7,680 equals 60x. All right, to get x all by itself, we need to divide, because right now we're multiplying. To get that 60 away from the x, we need to divide by 60. Okay, and remember we can use our calculators on this part, but if we didn't have a calculator, we would go 7,680 divided by 60, and when you do that, you'll find that x is equal to 128. Okay, so 128. Now 128 what? So let's go back up here. X is on the same level as 7,680 words, so we know that Emily can read 128 words per minute. Okay, and that's our answer. That's our final answer. So that's what constant of proportionality is. So let's try to now find it in a table. So we're trying to figure out how many bracelets can you make per yard of cord. So essentially we're wondering, what is our constant of proportionality? What's the unit rate? Okay, so what we're going to do with the table, it's exactly the same as a word problem. We're trying to find the unit rate. And so we're going to set it up exactly the same. We're going to find a proportion. Now, you can pick any of these rows to set up your proportion with. I like to do the first one just because they're the smallest numbers, and that's going to make our multiplication and division easier in the long run. So 12 for every 12 bracelets, and it gave us B for bracelets. So for every 12B, we need 3 yards of cord, 3C. Okay, and it's asking us how many can we make per yard of cord. So per yard, remember per yard means just 1. So 1C. And we want to know how many bracelets can we make for 1 yard. Okay, now this looks awfully familiar. So this 12, this rate, for every 12 bracelets, we need 3 yards of cord. We set up our proportion, and now we're trying to find this missing number. So when we cross multiply, you go 12 times 1 equals, and now you need to do 3b. All right, let's clean it up. 12 times 1 is 12 equals 3b. Get that b all by itself, so we get to divide by 12. Divide by 3. To get that b by itself, we need to divide by 3. So b is equal to 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So what does b stand for? Well, we know that for every 1 yard, so for 4 bracelets, b means bracelets. For every 4 bracelets, we need 1 yard of cord. And that's our answer. For every 4 bracelets, you need 1 yard of cord. That's our rate of proportionality. Okay, our last example is looking at a graph. So please write down the steps. It's okay if you don't write down the graph exactly, but I do want you to write down this part over here. For every point you can see clearly, find a point you can see clearly to find your exact numbers. Set up a proportion. To find the constant of proportion or unit rate, you need to set x equal to 1, and you're trying to find y. So if that doesn't make complete sense, I think it will here when you see the example. So we are trying to find a point on the line that we can clearly write down our equation, our rate. So the one that jumps out at me is right here. Okay? And that point, remember, we go x, y. So x is 10, so that point is 10, and then 20. That's a point we can clearly see. With both x and the y-axis, it goes right on a point that we can see. Okay, so now when we have this point, we're going to now set it up in a proportion. Okay, so we're just going to go 10 over 20. Okay, so now what we're going to do with that is we need to make x equal to 1. We need to make x equal to 1. So where's our x? Our x is in the 10, so x needs to be 1. We're trying to find the unit rate. X is 1. Okay, and we don't know y, so we're just going to put y in the denominator. So there we go. There's our proportion again. 10y is equal to 20. Oh, man. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get that back here. So we have 10 over 20 equals 1 over y. All right, we have 10y is equal to 20 times 1. Okay, there we go. So 10y is equal to 20. Now we need to get y all by itself. So to do that, we need to divide by 10. All right, so y equals, what's 20 divided by 10? We have 2. So the rate of proportion, the constant of proportion is the ordered pair, which is x, y, 1, 2. So for every 1 seed packet, because this is x is seed packets, for every 1 seed packet, there's going to be 2 flowers. That's our rate of proportionality. That's what this point stands for. Okay, so with that, I want you to don't forget to write down your 2 questions. We're going to be doing more of this in class, so I just wanted to give you an introduction of it. So thank you for writing down the notes diligently and paying attention, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.